What's up, Wonder Kid? It's FIFA Expert, and we're back with the Napoli Career mode, and we've left it on deadline day to start off the episode. We're gonna check out a few objectives here, like Insigne's last chance. He has had 3 goal involvements, so he's getting there to being that objective, but he's still got a long way to go. Same with Victor Osimhen with only 2 goals so far. He also only has 1 goal. He has a long way to go before completing his objective. And when it comes to the battle for right wing, in my opinion, I feel like Lozano is the one outperforming Politano, but we will check more in depth as the episode progresses. We do find ourselves 2nd place in Serie A, and I did consider looking for players to sign thanks to a commenter. I did follow his advice. He suggested Kumwepu and Maxime Lopez for a bit of a more realistic signing, since he's also an Italian league player, not an Italian player, an Italian league player, a player who plays in Italy. And I did decide to transfer list our 2 backup strikers because I felt like I wasn't really going to be using them that much. I felt like instead of having them to be my backup strikers who I might not really enjoy using that much, I would be better off looking for another striker. Not to be as good as Osimhen, I probably want that striker to be at most 70 overall, so that in case he does complete his objective, we'll sign a 75 overall striker. So in that case, I would really appreciate it if you guys did suggest some signings for January, a striker who is 70 overall. And I did also check out Hamed Traore while I was searching for Maxime Lopez at Sassuolo. I checked out Hamed Traore. He does look like an interesting player, a player who could be a winger rather than a cam when I looked at his stat summary from the initial scout report, but I didn't really scout him that much. And yes, I did use FIFA to find out his value because, again, it was deadline day and I only got the suggestions on deadline day, so I did what I could with it, and I did decide to put in our striker in this swap deal. I really don't mind losing our striker in the swap deal because I don't really mind it because we have Osimhen, and I am going to be signing a striker in January. And if you guys do want to suggest a 70 overall or lower type of striker, then feel free to suggest it in the comment section below. But I am going to sign Maxime Lopez because I feel like other than Elmas, we don't really have a concrete backup center mid, because even Anguissa, he isn't really a permanent player in the squad. He's a lone player, and depending on his performance, I'm not sure if I am going to be making his move permanent. So that's why I decided to sign Maxime Lopez. And yes, I had Deme, but Deme seems like a player I might actually move on. He just doesn't seem like the type of midfielder that I would want in the team. So yeah, this is a look at the squad. So far, Lozano does hold that right wing position as starter so far, but I am still going to be alternating between him and Politano. We do end off deadline day with Maxime Lopez being our only bit of business. So we've got a high budget for January, so you guys can feel free to suggest anyone you can. I think our budget is about 40 million. So yeah, I think you guys are going to be giving me some good suggestions. I hope you will. For this match though, I did want to bench Lozano. I wanted him to be an impact player, not income player, an impact player against Roma FC. Now Roma is definitely one of the bigger clubs in Serie A. You could say that they are like Napoli a bit, and Napoli is just a bit better than Roma. But we'll see how things go on the pitch. I do feel confident about us, but our match against Salernitana didn't give me the most confidence the way we did concede those 2 goals in the second half. So yeah, we will see how we do against Roma FC. Hopefully we can take control of the game with our possession-based football, and we can keep control of the game throughout. And players who are going to be important in this match, I feel, will be Lorenzo Insigne and definitely Victor Osimhen. But we can't really forget about how important Alban Lafont is. Hopefully he can get himself his first clean sheet out here today, as well as our midfielders Zielinski and Fabian. Hopefully they will be making some attacking runs to support Osimhen out there to make us really dangerous in attack, as well as Anguissa keeping the anchor there in defense. Of course, we did start off against Roma in the first 15 or 16 minutes. We started off on the strong foot, Insigne taking a finesse shot, And I'm not gonna lie, I am enjoying taking finesse shots. with Insigne, it does fill me with confidence. However, I feel like in this series I'm going to treat it similar to Project London. I am just going to be showing you goals and basically big moments like that. Like that was a very important block from Koulibaly there to be tracking back. Comments below on whether or not Koulibaly should move on from Napoli. I mean, at the age of 30, he isn't really going to be growing too much. And if a big club comes for him, he is more inclined to say yes, as Roma does get a red card, which should give us an advantage in this one. And we are definitely not going to be wasting that advantage. A bit of dribbling on the wings there, but unfortunately we couldn't really get the goal. And the first half does end 0-0, but I would say that we are in control. We're having the more shots, and now we are a man up. So hopefully in the second half we can begin to really push the man advantage and show Italy why we should be the team that's considered to be title contenders. And with a strike like that from Lorenzo Insigne, you must wonder why he isn't really considered one of the best players in the world. He is seemingly highly underrated in this series. If you're looking at the universe, I don't know how you guys are reading him, but like, if you're looking at this universe of this little Napoli Career mode, the things Insigne is doing, his overall impact to the squad at his age, I think he's 32, it's amazing. I mean, to be hitting a shot like that against Rui Patricio, who has been a really good keeper today, to beat him like that, that is absolutely amazing. Now, I did decide to make a change. I decided to sub off Politano because I wasn't really feeling him. I thought of putting on Mertens for Osimhen, but I did want to give Osimhen a bit of time to see if I could get a goal with him. But I did make sure to give Maxime Lopez his debut against Roma. 1-0 up. We have made a few interesting subs. Irving Lozano did dribble in, and it was a handball from the Roma player that does give us a penalty. Now, I also wasn't a bit sure about this. I don't know if I really wasn't sure if it was a real handball decision. You guys should comment down below on whether or not I should remove or I should turn off the handball rule in this career mode, because I feel like in some instances it does kind of ruin the flow of the gameplay, but then at the same time it does make it a bit realistic. But the man to be taking this penalty will be Lorenzo Insigne. We're going to the top left hand corner. He just about gets it over Rui Patricio, and we lead 2-0 against Roma. An 11-man Napoli leading against a 10-man Roma. Granted, this one wasn't really from open play, it was from a penalty, but you still gotta progress up the field to get penalties anyways. So yeah, it is 2-0 up for Napoli, and Insigne does have himself a brace. Insigne again looking dangerous, sending in Osimhen with an easy strike, one-on-one against Rui Patricio, and in the 83rd minute, he does basically just seal the game beyond doubt. If you had any doubts of Napoli picking up a result here, I think Osimhen and Insigne's link up here has basically just ended all doubt. Just a beautiful pass there from Insigne into Osimhen. Just makes the finish just really easy, doesn't complicate it, just smashes it past Rui Patricio. And I think that does merit an Osimhen substitution. Not that he was playing bad, he is playing well, but I do want to try out Mertens to see if I really do need a backup striker, or if I can make Mertens our backup in case Osimhen gets injured, or in case we need to rotate him. So I do want to test out Dries Mertens to see if he is the type of striker that would be a good replacement for Osimhen in those type of situations. Unfortunately, he couldn't finish off Zielinski's great pass, but he would get another opportunity and he wouldn't miss it this time, smashing it into that top left-hand corner. This has been just a complete performance from the Napoli squad, both from the substitutes and from the starters. Osimhen and Mertens both getting goals in the last 7 minutes, and Mertens, you would consider him a very, very impressive player for getting a goal in 7 minutes. Whereas Osimhen took him like 83 minutes, but we won't look too deep into that type of stuff. I did also like the feel of Maxime Lopez. Of course, not much footage was seen of him, but he did keep things in control in that midfield. He wasn't losing the ball, but at the same time, he didn't really make any significant touches. But I feel like if I do give him a bit more time, he will show us what he is really all about. And at the same time, he's not really meant to be a star player. He's just meant to be there for rotation. But the next match, of the day, and the last match of the day due to my time constraints and my schedule will be against Leicester. It is the first match day of the Europa League. And the first match day of a Europa League or even Champions League or Conference League is very much important, especially when it is the two favorites of a group. Whoever wins here is the one who is most likely to finish top of the group and to get the easier draw in the preliminary round. Although sometimes the preliminary round doesn't really give you the best draw in the world, but we aren't really going to think about it too much. We do have a game to worry about. It's going to be Leicester City and Napoli to be facing off in the... is it the Stadium of Maradona? Yeah, is it the Stadium of Diego Maradona? Is it still called that? Because I didn't really change the name because I wasn't 100% sure about that. I do have to do a bit of research before I can change. It's from Stadion Olympique, but we are at home and hopefully we can give our home fans something to cheer about against Leicester City. And I will tell you one thing about this game. It was definitely more entertaining than the Roma game. And our first big moment was a concession of a goal against Jamie Vardy. We are 1-0 down in the first 8 minutes. But it is still, for the first 8 minutes, there's still 90 minutes to play. We can still come back into this game. That is at least what I thought, but again, we do get opened up, and it is Jamie Vardy again, only 9 minutes later, to increase Leicester City's lead to 2-0. Now, of course, there's still some time for us to do something, and something is indeed what we will do. Fabian does put in a cheeky little chip against Kasper Schmeichel. He doesn't have the time to celebrate, though. He does know that there is still a huge job to do, but it is still an amazing goal. A goal that shouldn't really go unnoticed, and I don't know if I should say Osimhen passed him, because it did seem like the Leicester player's tackle did send through Fabian unintentionally. But you take goals wherever you can get them, and this is a nice little chip here. Probably a bit unnecessary, but all goals count the same. And again, we do get opened up by Leicester, and this time it is Canales to score. And all that hard work, all that momentum has basically just been stifled by that goal in the 27th minute. I do feel I'm noticing a pattern that we are definitely being opened up way too much by easy through balls that should be stopped by world-class defense. And we do concede a fourth goal thanks to their corner routine in the 35th minute. You would call this one a bit of bad luck, and now all goals do count the same. You can say it's bad luck, but honestly, there's nothing you can really do about it. And we would go down 4-1 in the first half. But in the second half, our fighting spirit would stay alive. Irving Lozano on the ball does give it back to Fabian, who does hit it right through into the near post, and Kasper Schmeichel can't do anything about that. It is a rocket. Fabian, however, does not have any interest in picking up the ball. He does want to celebrate. He's picked the ball up already. Now he does want to enjoy his celebration, because even he's not 100% sure if we can really come back into this game. And especially if Leicester does get a fifth goal in the 60th minute. I mean, I don't know what's going on in this game, honestly. We just kept getting opened up by the same tactic, just them putting a through ball right through our defense into the box, and them leading into a one-on-one opportunity they would always score. I feel like I did have to tweak the defense a bit. I was considering subbing off Osimhen, but instead I decided to sub off Lozano to see if Politano should be the impact type of player, and I did decide to give Elmas and Lopez a run, since we've basically got nothing to lose at this point. And I think you could call me a tactical genius for that, because as soon as I bring on Lopez, in about 4 minutes, he is able to score the first goal of his Napoli career. I mean, very, very critical fans would say that should have happened in the last game. But I mean, I'm not really complaining too much. It is good for him to be making such nice runs. I think it'll be important to have a midfielder who's going to be making runs like that. And that does put in a bit of hope into the Napoli squad. Osimhen does now run it in. Almas does give it to Insigne, who does dribble it in. He does take an outside shot, and Vestergaard does put a handball on Insigne's shot. And again, this does bring into question, do I turn off the handball rule? I mean, if you look at the replay, in its defense, it does hit Vestergaard's hand. That is definitely certain. It does hit Vestergaard's hand. But at the same time, that shot wasn't really gonna go, and it seemed like an off-target shot. But again, you know what they say, you're gonna take things the way you get them. You may not like how you get them, but you're still gonna take them. Everyone likes sausage, but they don't want to know how it's made. And that does put in a bit more hope for us. We're now 5-4 down against Leicester. Could we complete probably one of the better comebacks in European football? Unfortunately not. I mean, we did get close, but Leicester did basically just seal it at the last minute, and that does send us, actually, that does let Leicester leave the Italy with happiness, with excitement, but at the same time it does leave a very distraught and disappointed Napoli side. But I feel like this game was definitely one of the games we could have won, but our problem was we kept getting exposed by the same tactic that Leicester was abusing, and that was a through pass through the defense each and every single time. That's how they scored about 4 of their goals, so that is something we definitely need to fix. Of course, here is another look at the objectives, as this episode does give an end. Another great performance from Insigne. Osimhen, however, he's a bit quiet. He's here and there, but I feel like I do gotta give him a bit more time. When it comes to goals wise, he is a bit quiet, but with assists as well, he has got 4 goal contributions. And I would agree that so far, yes, Lozano is outperforming Politano, as you can see in the text down below. But I did decide to simulate against Cagliari. I didn't really feel in form after that match against Leicester City, so I did want to sim just in case my form was a bit of the problem there. And Anguissa's development plan has been completed, and it does go up to an 81. And now with that said, should I make this deal permanent? You guys let me know down below in the comment section, or you can actually let me know in the Discord server that I am starting up. Link to my Discord server for the FIFA Expert Wonder Kids will be in the description. We currently have no members, so if you would want to be a first time member, then I would greatly appreciate it. You can do whatever you want there. You can talk to me about some stuff, but do make sure you respect other people. I did simulate against Torino as well, but I think I did make a few, or not even a few, maybe just one rotation, and that was Politano for Lozano. And we do pick up a 3-1 win, but at the same time, we did lose Fabian to injury, and Fabian is now out for 3 months for an MCL. Now that does raise the question, should we really be signing a midfielder in January now because one of our more important midfielders are out? Or should we stick with Maxime Lopez and Zielinski? You guys will have to let me know by the next episode, but for now, this is where it ends.